Okay. So hello, my name is Calliope, and today we're going to be doing an oral history interview about your Greek American experience through the church. So if you would first start off by stating your name, we're at the St. George Clifton. So you can
Okay.
start off.
My name is Gina Pramagioulis, and I married into the Greek community 28 years ago when I was just 19 years old. Still very young. Actually, I really got into the Greek culture after I had children, mostly. I really enjoyed what the Greek church and what the Greek culture had to offer. So I decided to convert to Greek Orthodox to raise my children as Greek Orthodox because I felt that the community and the sense of community and belonging that they have, that it was such a great thing and opportunity for my girls to grow up into, or my children, because I didn't know what it was happening, for my children to grow up into. And also, before I had kids, by being introduced to Greek culture, my husband and I used to go back to Greece every single summer. So it's a beautiful country with great traditions and lots of wonderful food. I didn't really start coming to the church until, like I said, after I had my children. Um, it's been a great experience, great food, great family, friends, so much history in Greece by visiting back and forth there. I really like the Greek community. It's very much many wonderful people. The history is really deep, and you guys are very much into it and supportive of your
Right.
ancient history. What else do you want to know? I'm sorry.
No, that's good. So you mentioned about your daughters and being involved in the community, but your background was originally.
I'm Italian but American. Grew up in fifth generation here, so really don't have any roots to my original heritage. And that's what I like so much about my husband's family. Is like he's right from there, so those roots and being able to speak another language gave my own language gave my children an opportunity to be able to learn another language to speak, to have some other culture other than just American culture. So it was just I think it was a well-rounded experience because now they love being part of the Greek community. They speak fluent Greek, and they're just really good.
Good, yeah. So do you think it's in large part because of your husband's influence that you were able to be part of the Greek culture, or do you also think that the church had some influence in
So
bringing you together?
when I got married in Greece, they wanted to make sure that I was going to be a supportive Greek person to bring my kids up into culture. So I had to sign paperwork. This is, I promise that I will raise my children to be Greeks. And I did. And not because I was forced to, because when I started coming to the church and, like I said, starting to see the community, how, united people are, and like very, I really liked it. So I like the environment. I like the family. I like the sense of community and the opportunities of being able to learn a language, cultural dance, being introduced, learning about the history, those types of things that I wouldn't be able to teach them myself because I don't know. And not my husband doesn't really, not really going to teach them that either. He's working all the time and stuff too. But it just, I really started becoming more involved in the church. So when my daughter was 5, when Sophia was like 5, then I decided to become a Sunday school teacher and, to teach the younger children, about the religion and, the culture. So just that, just to enjoy it. And then, as they're growing up through the years, finishing Greek school, doing all the activities, Sunday school, then Goya, and that whole, I really like that all the different churches get together and have those events so they get to meet other children, other Greeks. It's a nice thing to be able to know that you have a big network of other people than just your immediate family.
Right.
I like that sense of that feeling because, and especially today with social media, the girls have opportunity to really connect with other people that they don't see all the time.
Right. Right. So you guys have obviously gone to Greece and, done the whole trip and back. What do you find different about this experience here and when they go there?
So that's a good point. So when my husband comes from the village life, so here in America we're very fast paced and you've got everything going crazy and everybody's working 9 million miles a minute. And my husband being from the village is farm life, so it's like in the mountains, so it's totally different. I think it made my children a little bit more humble to see, here you kind of get everything, there's everything, and then when you go there, you can see a difference. It's a little harder You know, they don't have as much money. They don't always get as much as, you know, the kids are spoiled more
Right.
here and they get more things. And it's just a different sense of from living in the city. Then you go to the mountains and you just, the freedom. They had a lot more freedom from even a very young age because most of the village people, everybody is like the old time American where everybody knows everybody and everybody's a family and you could, you know, walk down the street and people see you, you know, you can't get in trouble because, you know, the neighbors watching is going to report back to Yaya that, you know, you're misbehaving. You know? So just that experience too, it gives them a different sense of, you know, here we are, we have this type of house in America. When you go to Greece, it's different. It's all cement, and then you're, you know, with the farms and so much mountains. Like here, we don't see any mountains in New Jersey where we live, so there's no mountains over here, you know. So just also a different sense. Like it's so beautiful. Like not that America's not beautiful, but just you know, where we are, just we're always in the city. We don't get to go out and do things. But going to Greece and back to his home in the village there, you know, he's just looking out. You're staring at beautiful mountains and nice ocean, and it's such a different experience for them. And it kind of gives them a different perspective here. How people live in America versus how people live. They're not as fast paced. Well, in the mountains, I don't know about Athens, but from where my husband's from, more relaxed, calm, you know, different sense of, and also a big sense of community too, because you have a lot of family, a lot of friends, and you know they're able to keep in touch with those because they go to Greece basically almost every summer, so they have a fortunate experience of being able to do that.
Right. Okay, cool. So I'm just gonna go to my question. No, that was great. So I'm just gonna go to my questions just to jog my memory. That's what I wanted to ask. So you mentioned that you were part of the Sunday school and that, you know, you wanted to help teach the children, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not sure if this is going on a whim, but before you were Italian, were you Catholic prior to that?
Yeah, I was always Catholic. I grew up in the Catholic Church, and I did go to church quite often, and you know, on Sundays. But it's not the same type of community. I don't know if it was maybe the church or maybe I was still young and didn't know, you know, again, I didn't have children in the Christian community at the Catholic Church. They weren't bad. It was good. It's just that honestly, I felt my kids would get more out of the Greek Orthodox church and what the Greeks in general have to offer. That sounds kind of weird, but I guess but you know, it's just like I felt like I would be part of something, another family.
Right.
So that's why I embraced it and decided to, you know, really go with it and, you know, have my children go with it and just, you know, the people, the community, just I've had a great experience. You know, even though I wasn't Greek before. So,
right.
You know?
I think that's really cool. Okay. Now, so now I'm going to ask you like a few questions about Greece in general, just to get your feedback about what you think. So I have a question. What do you see as the biggest challenge facing Greece today?
Well, I don't know if it's still like that, but I always used to think, what there, does anybody work? Because I never really saw anybody working. But even though with their economics, from my perspective, being here and over there, I never really saw a struggle. I think sometimes the news makes it a little bit more crazier than it is. Yes, does everybody have hardships? But I didn't see where they were so desperate. You know, even you have farm life, you have city life. But again, I think they can come out of it. But the thing is, people have to have that. They have to want to work. You know, there are a lot of different things going on where they got a lot of money from the government, and these people didn't work, and it made it easy for them not to have to work. And I think, you know, whenever you change stuff, which they try to change it, that people have to work now more for their money, that you have those issues, you know, where you have, and you always have, no matter where you are, my opinion, is that there's always different classes of people. There's the ones that want to work hard and going to go places, and the ones who don't want to work hard, and then they're never going to have any money. You know, I mean, that's just how it is. And even here in America, the same thing. People don't work, they don't have any money. You work hard, you can get things, and you got to work for it. So you have to have that sense of that work ethic to do that. I think things are changing over there though too. You know, I have to say, and because I've been with my husband 28 years, I have seen Greece over the last 28 years. So I've seen that it's gone from, you know, dirt roads, honestly, from driving from my husband's village from Athens is like it used to be a 6-hour drive.
Right.
But now that they've improved the roadways and, gone through the mountains and stuff, I continue to see through the years lots of improvements to the country itself. So that's what I have seen, So to me, it didn't seem like they're too much in economic distress. Maybe they are, but everybody has economic problems.
Right.
So that's what it is. But I think, I do see continual growth. Like I amazed, like if I think about when I first went there when I was 20 years old to now, they had what progress. Like now it only takes to cut out 2 hours of our time because they made these new roads. So just, I think that they've been developing the same way as everybody else, new things and better ways to do things.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so I'm not sure if you're familiar with the ongoing debacle with Turkey.
I'm not really I don't really follow that like my husband would follow that stuff, but I'm I don't watch too much news. I kind of like to stay low and really I hear about things, but not I don't get involved in it, so I don't really have any take on those.
That's okay. No, that's okay. That's okay. And so my last question is kind of wrapping it all together. Any last thoughts about your experiences in general, and your specific experience being that you were married into basically a culture?
Like I said, I've had a really great experience, and I love going to Greece. I think my husband's family is great. I mean, even though I don't speak fluent Greek, I somehow speak broken Greek, and I do get by when I go there. It just I really have enjoyed it, and like I said, both my kids are now big, 17 and 19, and growing up in the Greek community in the church, and I think it's been a great experience for them, including myself. Nothing, I don't have anything bad to say about it. It's been all good. I mean, that's what I tell people all the time. They're like, why did you give up your thing? I really didn't give up anything. It's just I made a choice. I thought this would be a better fit, and to broaden my children's culture experience. Unfortunately, sometimes when families come over from different countries, sometimes you lose it, especially if you've been here a long time. Families don't carry out the same traditions and keep their heritage. The Greek people seem to keep their heritage more intact. And I really like that. I like that cultural experience and how, my kids could get that experience, speaking another language, learning different things, doing traditional folk dancing and stuff like that, being involved.
That's awesome. Okay, well, thank you.
You're welcome. I hope that was good.
That was great. That was awesome.